was. It looked like it was money. I don't know what it was. It was a flying saucer or what it was. It wasn't an airplane. It was not an airplane. It was down off the road.
You are listening to Pursuit of the Paranormal Podcast with your host, Ash Ellis.
Welcome back to Pursuit of the Paranormal. I really hope you enjoyed our episode last week, which was our first episode back. Let me know if it was shit or let me know if it was good. All feedback is welcome. So this week, we are welcoming back to the podcast the girls from Twinvestigate. We had them on the podcast pretty much a year to the day as we speak. And I'm looking forward to catching up with the girls and seeing what they've been doing over the past 12 months. So let's just bring in, we've got Sarah, Emma, Toni, and Adi. Welcome, girls. Welcome back to Pursuit of the Paranormal.
Yay!
No, thanks for having us back.
It's good to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Can't believe it's been a whole year.
Yeah.
Yes. When we brought you on last year, you were pretty new to the kind of paranormal team. The team is pretty new. Kind of getting yourself starting to get yourself out there, and the year you've had has been kind of crazy. I've been following the journey. It's been good to follow your guys' journey, kind of from near the start to where it is now. And I've been glad to be a part of it at some points as well, which has been fun. With you guys being pretty local to me and my basement. I think this is actually when we invited you into my basement, wasn't it, this time last year?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, no.
A lot less
We
creepy
don't
now.
always say yes to strangers' basements. I know it is. I know we are. I think we're overdue a little bit of basement time.
Yeah, I do. I like it down there. I do. We all love Ash's basement.
Ash's downstairs.
It's like an what do you call it?
A euphemism. Yes, Emma.
Anyway.
I can't think of the word.
So that's where Toni is. But yeah, cool. So so you guys are up to all sorts. You seem to be out investigating every week by the looks of your social medias, pretty much. So kind of just been following on from the past 12 months. Me doing UFO stuff, doing the podcast stuff, working. You're all parents as well. How do you guys do it?
Well,
Just
we all work part-time as well.
Yeah, except for me, I don't work at all anymore. I think I spoke to you a year ago, and I made cakes at the time for a living, and that was my little thing, and I had my own business, but that is no more because this just became too much, and I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed cakes, so I do this now. Don't get paid for it yet, but the dream's there.
No, it does help. We all work a couple of days a week, except Emma. But we all work part-time, so it's like we have a lot of free time really to go out and about, don't we? And a lot of that is in the week, which is great because the kiddies are in school. So, but yeah, we try, don't we? We try and fit the time in now. We never used to schedule it quite as much or as well as we do now, but we try and get something regular out instead of very ad hoc now.
Yeah, I remember when January came round and we all said to each other, we've got to really get a good momentum now, like do at least something twice a month, keep it coming, and we've stuck to it, haven't we? We had a goal set for September to be bigger than we are now, and to be double in size and be more frequently doing it, and we've reached them goals, if not more, haven't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think we've probably tripled, not more than double. I think it's tripled, to be honest. But yeah, it's been really good. We just have consistency, isn't it? It's about making sure you've got consistency.
Definitely. And you certainly made an impact kind of in the scene in the UK, at least. Not always good stuff. We've had quite a bit of negativity, I guess.
Yeah.
So just want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is exactly how the pink started, because we get a lot of stick for the pink, don't we? Because it's not heard of. It's not done. People don't wear your bright and bold colours normally with your paranormal. And that's when it started. Is we all know Chris, don't we, from Phantom Physics? And he gave us some pink hoodies with his brand on, and that was the very first time we all wore pink. And somebody was like, "Oh, is it a hen do?" On a ghost hunt, the four of us, is it a hen do? And we were like, do you know what? It's not. But I like they'd assumed that because we were women and wearing pink, so it just kind of spiraled from there.
They always assume first.
Yeah,
though,
and just while we're on that subject as well, we've started to do our merch.
Not on a hen.
Not on
That's
hen
awesome.
night.
I know, that should be pink, Emma. That should be in pink.
Well, it's all in a variety of different
We've got
colours.
different
We've got
colours.
different neon colours and different quotes.
Yeah.
Not on a hen night. And
I
that's
know.
like,
Love it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I know. We do. It's just because people seem to. I don't know why. Is they think that we are making a mockery of the paranormal because we're wearing bright colours, and we've had that before, haven't we? That it seems gimmicky, but it's not. It's just different. We still go out and investigate seriously, and we use all sorts of methods and approaches. We just have a bright coloured uniform, shall we say, a bright coloured brand.
it's
But it's good
almost
because people ask about it.
yeah, we've fallen into it almost because it was started out as a bit of I wouldn't call it sarcasm. I think it was just to prove a point. Like, you know what? Yeah, we are going to wear pink, but then we've really grown to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he followed on.
Polar
Yeah.
opposite to what we were used to do. Like when we first started out, we had the black t-shirts and black hoodies and completely different
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
only when we wore those hoodies that
Yeah.
it spiraled the pink. That's
Yeah.
that's what it was. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, it certainly looks good. Definitely make your announce your arrival. Let's say
Yeah.
with the pink.
We
So
need-
I'm gonna say a word, and I want to kind of just get you guys to tell us what it is and how it all came about. It's something that I've seen grow quite fast recently on social media, and that's power unity. So do you want to just talk us what that is?
Go on, Emma.
Emma, you start.
Oh, I'm not very good at all this. So with power unity, obviously it's a word that's floated around for a while, even before we were on the scene, and about just supporting other people, supporting teams, and being open and honest with what you do as well. So it's just, there's so much negativity in the paranormal that there's nobody there supporting each other or being nice. So if, for example, there's a lot of fakers out there and people get a lot of hate for that. But in our opinion, if you put a disclaimer on your video that says, we are for entertainment, we are fake, it's all fabricated, then what is it doing wrong if their audience is people that enjoy that? Whereas there's people like us who would do the reality of it, we get tarnished with that same, you're all fake. So why not just jointly support everyone in what everyone's choices are? The paranormal is such a wide spectrum for different people. It's not a competition. No one's ever going to dominate. So we need to just all become like an at one and accept each other's differences.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And so I started the Power Unity community page just to, I don't know, just to show support. And it grew very fast with loads of teams. And that's how we meet a lot of people and do collabs together. And
Some people do it to make money. Some people do it to get their content out for the numbers, the subscribers, whatever. Some people do it to prove paranormal's real, like there is another world there, the afterlife. Some people do it just to have fun, and it's fine no matter what you're doing it for. We're all here to support you.
Some people agree with Ouija boards and use Ouija boards. Some people don't. Some people do it scientific. Some people don't. They just use apps and do their own thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's everyone's different and everyone's in it for the same reason. So
Yeah.
master.
We're quite open to
Yeah.
Master. And on that note,
So the paranormal is whatever it means to you, and it's accepting that as a group that the paranormal means different things to different people, and it's no right or wrong. It's something we cannot comprehend, really. So go
we're
on,
selling
Ellen.
our merch.
Nasty. Imagine that on a t-shirt.
Nasty. That was actually done in your basement, Ash. That was in your
Was it?
basement. Yeah,
Man's
man's voice. Nasty.
And everyone says nasty now. Everyone that we know, he talks about it. Nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm glad to have a hand in that one.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Lovely.
I
Cool.
know.
So, yeah, go on.
I was just saying the clip is on our TikTok of Emma saying that quote the first time she ever said it.
Awesome. So the Power Unity, where can people find the Facebook? Is it just a Facebook group?
Yeah, it's just a Facebook group. It's now called the official Para Unity community because I think we had a few people trying to create things off the back of it. So I was just before I wanted to make this is the page that was the original page that we started, but the official Para Unity community.
Nice one. So you've done, like I say, a lot of stuff over the past year, lots of new places that you've been investigating. So I kind of go around the room a little bit. I start with AD. Being aliens, what's kind of any places that have stood out that you've been investigating over the past 12 months?
For me, it's that big Pendle Hill. Definitely Pendle Hill.
Why? What? Anything happened there in particular that made it that good?
It was just unusual activity. It was one of our first investigations that we went on. And it was the Lucifer clip that we've got again on our TikTok and on YouTube as well. And it was just it was sort of the first thing that we captured using equipment with us being fairly new that sort of pushed us that little bit further to sort of experiment with more equipment, if that makes sense.
Cool. Sarah?
I would say 30 East Drive. I have never been to a place that has I've experienced as much poltergeist activity. It's a very tricky one because we were in the living room. We went with eight people. I think it was 8 of us, and me and Emma were downstairs in the living room and everybody else was upstairs, and we were filming a live and we heard someone in the kitchen, like clear movement in the kitchen, and we knew no one else was down there with us. But I've never actually heard such strong, clear movement. I've heard things being thrown, I've heard like tapping, but never movement in the kitchen as if someone was going around shaking the drawers up. And it's a shame that we didn't catch it on camera because we had mobile Wi-Fi cameras and that we'd set up, but they were only motion activated, and unfortunately it wasn't on the oven door, and we think it was the oven door that was moving. And when we went to debunk it afterwards with the noises, it did sound like the oven door, but it's just a shame that we didn't have it in shot because it didn't trigger the camera to go off. You can hear it on our front point of view kind of cameras on the live, but there's no way that we can show everybody what was going on. It was only our experience, and that's fine because I know sort of what I heard and what I witnessed, but it's just a shame because it would have been an amazing capture to get that movement on camera. But that was the best. That's the best for me, and we're going back for 2 nights in a row in October.
Nice. Toni, what place has stood out for you in the past 12 months?
I think for me, more recent, Newsham Park. Because that's where I was physically touched on my leg. And that for me scared the hell out of me because we were doing the SS method, I had a blindfold on, earphones in, couldn't hear anything. So usually when we do that, we'll just sort of gently tap each other to come out of it. So we know it's like someone tapping you out. And I'd recently had a tattoo done like the week before and it was still a bit sore. And I felt someone sort of push on my leg. And I thought Adi, because she was on that side of me, had touched me to come out. And I just said, my tattoo, stop it. And everyone was like, what are you on about? No one knew what I was on about. No one had touched me, but it was caught on camera. And you physically see on camera, as if my leg imprints in. someone pushing my leg, and it's so weird. And we zoomed right in on it and everything. It was crazy. But to feel that, it sent like chills up my spine. Then I had all feet off the floor and everything.
I recently had I've not actually told you guys properly about it, but I've told you about the in my basement a couple of weeks ago. I was touched, and it's still not gone back down there yet. Or know what I want to do. Don't know what I want to do about it yet. But
it feels like it's so strange.
Yeah, I remember being touched on my leg at Tatton for the first time. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Maybe that's when we could go back in your basement. Like the first time you go back down there. And we'll come in. You're not gonna get down there anymore.
I am because I have to. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna run away from. I'm not gonna run away from anything, whatever it is. So we'll go down on my own. Like even before this time, like going down on my own, I just never ever liked it. I can go anywhere. Like the other night, I was in Cannock Chase at 2 a.m. in the cemetery on my own, and that doesn't bother me. But going in my basement, even in the middle of the daytime with the light on, I just get creeped out, and I don't usually get creeped out. So it's just. I just can't go down on my own. We'll have to get you guys around to come around. Emma, what's one of yours standout?
Well, apart from ones that have obviously already been said, because there's quite a competition there with all our favourite ones. Gallery Flowers, and more because one, Jen, who owns the shop, is absolutely lovely. Two, it's got a weird vibe to it, and it's not somewhere that people usually go. Like Newsham's a big place a lot of people go.
I heard that then.
What was that? What was that? That was behind us.
It was right behind us.
That was quite loud. That was quite loud.
Do you know what's weird? I've just set my phone up 5 minutes ago to start recording so I could take some pictures of me and Toni. And I'm going to have it on camera. I'm going to stop it.
Oh, good. Stop it there.
God. Yeah, I've stopped it. But,
it's live on mine as well.
So, start again. Newsham, usually that's like one of the big places that a lot of people go. Maybe that was a sign that we need to go back to Newsham.
No, because you're talking about Gallery Flowers.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Correct. I know. I was talking at Newsham, I think, and then I said Gallery Flowers. More the capture that we got, because we had the most clearest woman's voice go, "I love you so much."
Yeah.
And at the sound, it sounded like at the time. I mean, it sounded like a groan, like a. But then when we
it did.
Then we slowed it down, and it sounded like it said, "I love you so much," exactly like that.
Once you heard the "I love you" bit, you can piece the rest of it together.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we've had some really freaky stuff, some really good DVPs, EVPs.
We've had things go off on cue, like when we've asked we've asked cat balls to go off and they will, we've asked KTs to go off and they will, and then stop. And
so we've noticed we get stuff there.
I've noticed we get a lot of voice captures at Gallery Flowers. We get a lot of it's voices more than anything else, isn't it? Because we also had that that man's voice who had like a Liverpool accent that said over here.
Have a Liverpool accent.
Yeah, I know. But that being said, about all those venues, is recently I've been really the vibe from an abandoned location that it's not really a controlled environment, as in there's lots of external influences, but what I mean is it's not somewhere that's been done over and over again. It's not an internal place where you've got other people who've been there. Like a lot of these places are unexplored or have not been very well explored from a paranormal perspective, and it's quite an eerie feeling being in a building and not knowing if there's another human in there with you, never mind anything non-human or sort of spirits or anything like that. So I really like the abandoned buildings. We think we got quite a bit at the latest at the hospital, didn't we? At the abandoned hospital.
I think I like that feeling on edge though, going in and wondering, is there somebody here?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's dangerous. And if I didn't have kids, I'd be a lot more ballsy. But the fact that it could be a real person, I think, is scarier. And I think that's sometimes a better chase, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
a better thrill.
Yeah, and it's also knowing that this sounds really weird and not what you'd normally think, but I like going up to the top floor of like the abandoned places that we go to, and like if something happened or if we heard somebody, the rush of having to get out, like that rush is like quite thrilling, isn't it?
A lot of adrenaline, isn't it?
It'd be great to
It's a
have
bit
like
of
an
yeah,
illegal zombie chase there or something, like an illegal event.
Yeah, or a big game of hide and seek.
I don't think it would be illegal because it's trespass. It's a civil matter, but to organise a big zombie hideout.
Yeah, you mentioned like kind of like that abandoned building, and obviously some of your videos are kind of that kind of urbex side to it. Obviously, you're not going to say name any of these places, but where do you kind of find out about these places? I struggle to like find information on where to find these places.
I just asked Sarah.
We have people that do it themselves who do it more frequently for years and years, and it's a little community urbexing and exploration. And there's a few like unwritten rules, so to speak, so not to tell anyone where you are, because any places that are in good condition or that are historical, or they can get trashed and ruined with people who don't respect the buildings. So I think when you need to have a trust with someone to get the pins off them, and we've built up trust and friendships with people who do it, and they drop us a lot of pins. It's just through word of mouth, really. There are forums and websites that will tell you, but I'm not going to give them here.
Yeah.
There's also if you actually actively look for abandoned places, they're right on the front of roads and all sorts. There's an abandoned farmhouse on the front of the road near me, just set back off a road. But you can, if you weren't looking for an abandoned place, you wouldn't even clock it. But it's having that, they're everywhere. I mean, like this last few days, I've been driving past like that's abandoned, and you can just, once you know what you're looking for, they're everywhere. But a lot of people do it they go onto Google Maps and they just search and browse these through sort of Street View, old abandoned locations. I don't know how they have the time to do that, but they do.
It's crazy because it's trespassing, but it's a civil matter. Like I live in this house now. If someone was to just walk into my front door because I've left it open, they wouldn't be breaking the law. Yes, it would scare you, but you'd say, like, you're trespassing, leave. The police would just escort them off the premises. They haven't done anything to break the law. So it's the same really with abandoned places. As long as there's always a window that's already open or a doorway to get in, easy access, we'd never break and enter to get anywhere because that's a complete different ball game.
But that's a criminal matter then, isn't it? So
yeah, so it's good fun when you get there and you think, right, where do we go now? Let's find the broken window or the open door.
Nice one. So kind of again looking back over the past year, have you changed your opinions or kind of what have you learned about what the paranormal is to you? Has that changed the more you've been doing this?
I think I've desensitized to a lot more than I was last year. Like last year I was quite scared to do things on my own. I am still very jumpy, but like I would never walk first last year. I wouldn't want to walk first in like I think my actual opinion on the matter hasn't changed so much. I still think there's something there, not really sure what. I'm a massive stone tape theory fan. However, and so I think a lot of it is residual. That being said, I'm going to contradict myself massively here now. The last couple of investigations we've done, we've had some really intelligent responses. The latest one at the hospital, when I've literally said, if you are intelligent, using a spirit box, and I've said, if you're intelligent, say the word sister, and immediately sister comes through the spirit box.
Well, it finishes your sentence because you say the word sister, and someone interrupts you, and then you say, you repeat yourself again because you were interrupted, like I've just interrupted you now, and you'd say the word, and it says it again, sisters, like as if it already knows.
It does. It's and that's so. Although I am still a massive Stone Tape Theory fan, and I do think a lot of energies are residual, which is why you get you capture things without asking for it because it's just happening at random times. I do actually think the last couple of investigations, the last couple of weeks, I'm a bit more interested in the possibility of intelligent, like not beings, spirits and entities and things. But I have noticed that tends to be in those abandoned locations. We've had a lot more intelligent responses from abandoned locations than we have in a controlled area. But then I also kind of think, is that because when you are in a controlled area and a building and people are actively asking for knocks and bangs and whistles and noises, is the residual energy just other people asking for that, and that's why it's more residual than intelligent? So I don't know, whereas abandoned, you don't really get that. So if there's something there, it's going to respond. Don't know.
Toni, kind of same question. Has your kind of thoughts, opinions changed? Now you've got more experience in this.
I think now I've got more experience, I've opened up to it a lot more as well. Like when I first started with the girls, to me, everything was paranormal, and I was like, oh my God, there was a knock, did you hear that, did you hear? Whereas now I'm a bit more like, okay, let's calm it, see what it could be first. And
sorry, that clip of you at Newsham just played in my head. What was that?
Okay, maybe I'm still a bit confused. But no, it's kind of but yeah, I do try and not debunk, but like try and find a reason for things first.
Yeah.
Whilst still screaming and lifting my feet off the floor.
I've experienced all of your screams firsthand, and you are quite loud.
Yeah.
Right across the building, you can hear it. It's
yeah. That must be Twinvestigate.
Oh yeah,
AD, what about you? If you anything like kind of your opinions changed or your kind of take on the paranormal?
It's changed slightly. I was a very spiritual person beforehand, and I feel like the more that I investigate, the less that spiritual side of me has slipped away because of the amount of logic that actually goes into investigating.
Yeah.
And I know we don't like the word debunk, but I know we don't like the word debunk, but the more that we try and find that logical explanation, the more it pulls away from my spiritual side, because I'm like, well, there was an explanation for that. There was an explanation for that. There's more of an explanation for this part, and that's when it's sort of like pulled away bit by bit. So yeah, for me, that's the only side it's sort of changed.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. So one thing. So maybe be asking about this one because it's something I've just been put onto. You guys probably might have heard about this this TikTok account. Someone at work told me the other day, it's like, oh, you heard of this on TikTok? And I've only literally had a look at it like yesterday, so I don't know. So I'm just going to say, I don't know why I'm asking this anyway. But if I said like Winston or Team Winston, do you guys know?
Yes, yes, I do. Yes.
That TikTok.
I have, yeah. I have. Yes. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
He's Manchester-based as well, isn't he? Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not a big TikToker. I don't really go on it.
So it's a guy who has this poltergeist activity in this flat, and it follows him around. When he was very small, very starting out in whatever it is he's experiencing or doing, I messaged him and said, let us come over. And he said he's not having paranormal teams in. So that to me was a little bit, why not? Sort of, you got this massive poltergeist activity why not let people experience it and come into the house and like your flat and things. I've seen things that have been in and out about it being real and then being fake. I find it very difficult. Some videos I'm baffled by, and other times I think that's too good. That's too good for if that was real. Like, that's mind blowing. And then I don't really know where I stand with it. I'm leaning more towards the entertainment side. But like I said, people, if you're gonna, I want linking back to the whole para-unity thing as well. If you put a disclaimer out there in any way saying what you're doing it for, if it's entertainment or not, just be honest. But people watch it, people enjoy engaging with it, and I just think it's just very out there. Yeah, I'm a bit mixed. At the beginning, I was very into it. It was very subtle things, and I think maybe it's become this entertainment channel. I'm not 100% sure my stance on it.
Scrolling that tonight.
I've just found it. I'll send it you.
I'm gonna be scrolling.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I mentioned it really. It's only because I literally yesterday was looking at it and I was like, I just like you say. I mean, if that obviously I'm heavily on the skeptical side, but if that was real, it'd be like the most incredible thing.
Evident,
like saying, and he's always dead defensive in the comments, which is, and it's really question it is like, oh, you're a hater, and stuff like that. It's like that accent as well.
It's the reluctance. The first thing for me was the reluctance to have. It was a very, very tiny channel when I first discovered him, and I was like, look, we're Manchester, let us come in. And he wouldn't. And he said, no, I'm not having anybody come in to investigate. So to me, that was alarm bells. But it then came out a little bit later on and said it was for entertainment. And then that was soon wiped away. And I just don't really know where I stand with it. I think if it's real, it's massive. So, but then I also have the side of it that's like, what does it take? People want massive, massive evidence to believe in the paranormal. You get massive, massive evidence, and people go, oh, that's fake. Don't believe that. And it's like, well, what if it was real? And you've got your massive poltergeist activity, but we want all this huge evidence and we're getting it, but we're passing it off. Like, when will we? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, I had a similar one I think it was 21 or 2020, with an alien photo being taken in St. Helens. And it was clearly a cardboard cutout of an alien walking across this road. But I was like, what if it isn't? What if this? Yeah. And it's like 10 minutes drive from me. So I lived in Warrington at the time. So like 10 minutes away. What if I'm 99.999% sure it's cardboard cutout and a fake article?
Yeah.
But what if it isn't? Why is that one tiny small chance that it's legit? I've got to go and see. So went out and investigated this cardboard cutout alien. And did a whole article about it. But like you say, that you ask for evidence, and then like UFO pictures and stuff like that, where people want to say, so why so many UFO sightings? Why is not any good photos and stuff? And then when you see a good one that looks too good to be true, you kind of like, you think, yeah, this is too good to be true. Like these videos, like some of them, you watch them, it's like trying to work out how because he does it well, whatever it is, he does it really well. Yeah, it is hard to even work out how he does it in the comments. People are always trying to say like, oh, he's used this or used that. People explain why you can't have done it that way, stuff like that. I mean, so if it does say like for entertainment, and you see other people in the comments, because obviously half the comments people skeptical, half the comments people that follow it and love it and really. And in my head, I'm like, do they actually believe it, or are they playing along with believing it?
Yeah. Have they been gaslit as well? Have they been gaslit to believe it? I think that's the thing, though, is it's out of all of, if you think that is massive, massive evidence, out of all of the huge timeline that people have been investigating, that could be the 0.01% that is like huge evidence, but we're all just passing it off because it's too good to be true. And but if he would let people in to see and witness it for themselves, then I would be
Yeah.
more inclined to believe it. But because he's so reluctant to, it doesn't quite weigh up. But it's like there's things that we don't put in our video. It's the same thing as when we went to Antwerp Mansion, we got so many things that were like thrown or dropped, but we didn't put it all in the video because we were thinking that just seems like there's too much evidence to be true. Even though it happened, we didn't want people to think that it wasn't true because it was too good. And it's like, no, it's real. It's what we captured, but we don't.
Do you know, on this subject, I was literally thinking about this today, and evidence and people getting like major evidence and not getting so excited about it that it was like, oh my God. And one particular thing that stood out was when the hotel, my haunted hotel, had Heidi whispered down the phone, and it was Heidi. And I thought, that to me, if that was true and that really happened, then I'd be like, oh my God, that would, I think I'd have to, I don't know how I would even cope with hearing, if that had happened and I heard it, that to me is like the most mind-boggling proof ever that something has whispered its name and captured on the camera. If that really happened, I would be making so much more of a big fuss about it because that's massive evidence.
Well, then look at the things that we experience and don't actually come out with it because we're worried about.
Well, I know
what it might.
We
don't.
But
at the same time, they did put that clip out there, didn't they?
So it was a big deal. Like, I think that's amazing evidence.
Yeah. It's true. It is true. It is. I suppose you'd be loud and proud about it, wouldn't you? And you would be you'd be losing your mind if you'd have caught that. But I think there's probably a little side within everybody that pulls them down a little bit to like rationalize what's happening, and it downplays as a like response. It's downplayed a little bit because your brain and your body doesn't really want to believe it. So you know what I mean? I think you're almost in disbelief.
It's funny how it's funny I kind of mentioned Antwerp Mansion because the exact same thing happened to me. I was on a public event there and we were in the basement bit and we're doing like a group ritual. We're doing like kind of Nessa's method, but kind of passing the headphones around to each person in the circle. And no one was getting anything like at all. It's just nothing was coming through. Got to me now, the last person in the circle. So I was doing it. Whether I'm just more experienced at doing it and I can sort of hear things better than people that maybe not done it before, maybe. But I was kind of getting stuff and I was saying it, and obviously don't know how people were reacting, but I was saying quite a few things. Then it came through, clear as day on the headphones, stop the experiment. And I was like, wow, I can't say that. I didn't say it because I was the only one that had got things coming through.
Yeah.
And then I say something like stop the experiment, which is so apt for what we were doing.
Yeah.
I thought if I say this, it sounds fake. Like I'm the only one saying things and it sounds fake if I say this now. So I just didn't say it. I just ignored it.
That's your brain's trying to like protect yourself as well, and I know exactly that's the thing, isn't it? People don't, like yourself, you don't want to say it because it might people are not going to believe it because you've experienced it as well. You've got no proof.
When I told the organizer afterwards, but I didn't want to say it, but he did actually say this to me, like whilst we were doing that experiment. Like
I had similar in Pendle because I can remember saying that I saw something on the stairs the day after, but I didn't want to mention anything to the girls because we was already quite a bit scared anyway. But I just sort of like swept it under the rug and was like, I'm not mentioning anything till tomorrow.
Yeah. I remember you, Toni, right in the beginning, going back to Pendle. I remember you being so scared. Like you were so on edge in the beginning. I remember being near the end of an investigation and like thinking, we need to cut this short because like Toni's scared.
I remember hearing them footsteps behind.
Yeah, she was like this on the stairs, like going like, I can't. I'm scared, I can't.
But when we went out into the forest, and I physically heard someone running behind us, and I moved out of the way from him, and I turned around, there was no one there, and I was like, "What just happened?" Like,
I know you're not like that now. It's weird, isn't it? Like when I think back, how sort of on edge you were on the investigations and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, so going back to like the desensitized and like growing your confidence and things with you.
Yeah.
Like,
Now I
we're
can
just
pee on my
being-
own.
I know.
Yeah.
Like for me, I used to be really scared. I wouldn't even do Ouija board. Now I've got Ouija boards in the house and I'll do them whatever as a laugh. My kids play with them for God's sake. But I am still a part of my mental health, likewise, where it's mental health is the wrong word, mentally, where I'm out and something's telling me not to go and do a lone vigil because something's going to run at me from the dark, or there's going to be a big demon in the closet and go right at me, and something still holds me back from doing lone vigils and things because I'm still scared that those things are going to happen or something's going to chase me.
Yeah, I think it links back to like the horror movies, doesn't it? It's them horror movies that you watch and there's jumpy things and people climbing the walls and things like that, like all sorts happening. And I think that's why right in the beginning I was so jumpy as well, because I pictured things running at us like I don't know.
That's it. You visualize it in you. Yeah, you visualize it, don't you? When you're like running out of a corridor or something, you just visualize something stood there because that's chasing you. Yeah, that's it. I think you do kind of let your that's why we're so jumpy, I think, is because we're always visualizing without even realizing it. We're just always like imagining something's gonna jump out at us, or like because we love horror as well. So it's
sometimes though I can be really brave. Like that time we went to the hotel, I think about this time last year, I think it was, and we were all there, I think, and I sat under the cupboard, and I remember Adi was on the bed, and I was sat under the cupboard with. Was it Billy's little cupboard in his room? And I was sat under that confidently and I sat in the bathroom, went in the shower. And then the other times that I've been terrified and I'm like, I couldn't sit under it. Like, I don't know if it was a vibe
it's a weird vibe that you can get each time though.
I just, depending on the day or how it is, I'm scared.
Yeah.
But again, is that a vibe that you're picking up? The activity's there? Because sometimes we walk in somewhere and we're like, no, this don't give me vibes. We went somewhere recently that we were invited to, and we went there and we didn't really pick up on a vibe. It wasn't vibey.
No, it wasn't.
And other times we walk straight in and AD especially be like, I don't like this.
Don't like this room, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on to kind of something a bit more, I guess, personal to each of you. Maybe Sarah a bit more. I went to Birmingham to watch you give a talk to the Birmingham UFO group, of all things. So tell me about how that experience was for you.
Giving a talk. To be fair, I haven't really done public speaking. Like I am a chatter. I'm a people person, and I'm confident. But I've never spoken in front of a group. Like I've performed. I'm a performer as well, and I perform. But speaking in front of a group about a sort of keep a topic and keeping that conversation flowing and like. Well, not even conversation. You're just trying to keep people entertained. It's tricky, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed telling people about our experiences, and I really liked it. I could sit and talk all day about things that we have found and the reasons for it and stuff like that. I love it. I always have liked reading into like research to back up theories that we've got and like reasons why we had certain activity, or not debunking, I don't really like that word, but possibilities for the paranormal experiences that we have. But I liked it. I really enjoyed public speaking. I can't wait to do it again, to be fair.
I was going to say, because you're all giving a talk at the PowerCon in next month now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's next month. Yeah.
I guess how much preparation we've done.
0.
No.
So is that talk going to be on similar to what you did in Birmingham, with like your guys' investigations and stuff? Or
I think we haven't discussed it yet. We haven't kind of got an idea of exactly what we're saying. We've said like passing comments, like we want to talk about some of our experiences. We want to talk about not necessarily the different types of equipment, but how like equipment has changed and what is like preferential now to people. I've got there's an article coming out in Haunted Mag that I've written about women in the paranormal. So I'd maybe touch base on that a little bit. And sort of that's a bit of research-based stuff. Not really sure, but we definitely want to talk about our vibe as well and how we approach things differently. And the pink, because we think there's a theory about like sort of positive energy and high vibration, and color theory as well plays into it quite a bit with your activity. So I think we might touch base on that, but we haven't fully spoken about exactly what we're going to talk about yet, have we? So
No.
I know, no idea. We might just get up there and wing it, Ash.
That's how the best things happen, though.
I know. We
We
might
only
do.
need bullet points. We only need bullet points. Let our mouths do the rest.
I know, yeah. Are you coming to that, Ash?
Yeah, well, I got a table, so I'm gonna be selling my books and stuff. But yeah,
Yay.
I was going anyway. I have my tickets anyway, but I'll be there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
I'll be there.
fab. Fabulous.
Yeah. I guess another testament to kind of how your year's been is you were nominated for a couple of awards at the Power Meet. Was it the Power Meet Awards?
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, what you were nominated for and how the night went, and did you win or not?
Go on. Someone else want to?
If I can remember correctly, Sarah was nominated as top investigator in the GPN category, and we were nominated for best episode.
Yeah, top episode.
One of our older episodes, actually, at My Haunted Hotel, which was a shame because our new style has evolved now. So it was more of a reflection of our old style, our old approach, our newbie approach with no real education about it all behind us. So
which is good that we were still up there.
Yeah, it was still good that we were there. The people were nice.
I wouldn't say it was. I wouldn't say it was like not the education that was there. I think it's just the way that we portrayed ourselves was different. It was more typical.
We were finding our feet. We were learning who we all were as individuals as well as a group, and so
exactly.
I think it was all a learning curve then.
But we didn't win that category, but Sarah did win in her category.
Whoop whoop.
So technically,
I know I didn't expect.
We can call ourselves award winning just because Sarah's won.
We are award winning, and like I said when I accepted it, is that we're all in it. We are all in it together. So we're all. If one of us does something or one of us achieves something or whatever, it's for the team. So we all work together. But no, it was good. It was a great night. I loved it. It was a really good night. Yeah, it's fabulous. So we'll definitely be going again. I think they've got Parameet North as well coming up, but I don't think we've got plans to go there. We wanted to. We may still do. Don't know what date it is. But yeah, it was a really good night. So it's things of when you ask us like about this, Ash, it makes you realise we've done loads in the last year, really, haven't we? Like
You have.
it has. We've done loads, which is great.
Yeah, loads. And there's still so many places that we need to go that we've got to do. I would genuinely look at having like a week on the trot away together, just bouncing every night from place to place.
Yeah, a little road trip. Yeah, we need to get a caravan.
We do.
That's actually a really cool name for it.
I know.
We've actually been looking at caravans.
We've genuinely looked at.
I've got the space on my driveway to keep one. Sarah will come down and we'll tow it around.
We'll spray paint it hot pink.
Hot pink. Turn up at investigation.
Black interior though.
Yeah, here they are to investigate in the caravan.
We're like the Scooby Gang.
We have to get a hotel because we don't want to drive back, and sometimes I just think it would be nice. Sorry, I'm getting yawn.
And I can't stop
Yeah, sometimes it would be nice
to chill in the brew and and just
Yeah.
relax in the caravan after an investigation.
I know. Just to stick it in a lay-by at 2 a.m.
Well, if that's what you fancy.
Hello.
Cool.
Oh, God.
Kind
You know
of
what
on
I
that
mean.
kind of on that note,
Oh,
maybe not that note.
my God.
What is next? What are you guys up to in the next couple of months?
We've got a busy couple of months coming up, really, with
Yeah.
stuff that we've got planned. Not necessarily all investigations. That was me. I'm not the remote off.
Yeah, we're launching on, as with many other teams, on Parastream, which is, again, Ian and Ben, who sort out the Paracon. They're launching Parastream, and they've got some big, exciting plans for that. So hopefully next year will be a lot of content and a lot of things, and exclusivity to Parastream, and take us on a bit of a road trip.
Yeah.
But
So the next
think we're
thing we've
going-
got planned in is the Strive into
officially
planned in. We've got other plans that we've not.
But as
sort
for a
of
set location,
thing,
it's
but
in
a set
Strive.
location is the Strive. 2 nights.
Yeah. We're looking at doing we're gonna not we want to do a bit of a Patreon as well to help us fund our snacks. But no, we want to do a bit of a Patreon and like split our content, because we are paranormal but we do like the vlog style as well. So we might keep a little bit of vlog style in the paranormal on the YouTube and the Parastream and the Ghost Planet Network, but also put a bit of the behind the scenes stuff on like a Patreon, because people like the funny bloopers and the funny moments that go on our TikToks and stuff. We think we might put a bit of that on Patreon as well, and just it helps to fund us to be able to keeps costs down to go to these investigations. If we can pull something back from it, or gets us a coffee on the road, just little bits to take the pressure off and to just help us to do the investigations and keep the videos going, because a lot of the time we don't go somewhere because we just can't get the petrol together or whatever. So it'd be good just to kind of try and put it out there to help us a little bit, because we don't normally we haven't asked for anything, have we? And we like it, we enjoy doing it, but we just want to do it more. So it's just pushing it out.
It is.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, thanks you all again for coming to chat. And we'll see you either in my basement or in Northwich at Paracon in the near future.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Oh, your meetup. We will come to a meetup. It's been like 3 months.
Oh, I know.
We can't get down
We
if
need
there is
to.
not.
The last few ones that we've plans have fallen on the day, haven't they, and things, and it's been like, oh no.
Yeah.
I've not been able to
I know.
There's a
Tell you
speaker at
what.
the next one, so you can.
Or even a takeaway
We will.
night. Our takeaway nights that actually.
I do.
Yeah.
We could do both in one night.
Yeah.
We'll definitely come to the next meetup. We'll definitely be there. So pencil that in, girls. We need to go to the next one because it has been like 3 months.
Yeah.
Nice one. Well, yeah. Cheers, girls. Cheers, Sarah, Emma, Toni, and Adie. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
And see you soon.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Pursuit of the Paranormal with Ash Ellis. Title music created by Steve Yarwood and Ambienfinity. If you like the show, please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, X, and Instagram. And if you really like the show, please rate and review the show wherever you are listening. It really does help. See you next time, and until then, stay weird.